Everyone, welcome to the 2017 V2 Pitch Competition. This is our 6th version, and we're so happy to have you with us tonight. It's an exciting night, as you already saw, outside at the Venture Fair. You got a chance to see some of our entrants and some of the services that are available here in San Diego for our student entrepreneurs. I want to start the evening by introducing a couple of speakers to make some quick welcome remarks. David Moreno is the Director of Economic Development for the City of Tijuana, one of our partners that make this possible. A major part of our V2 Pitch Competition is our international track that we started 4 years ago to bring Mexican student entrepreneurs to USD to join us and to do their pitches, and we're very proud of that effort. I'll introduce David and then have Regina Bernal, who is our manager for entrepreneurship here at USD, to say a couple of welcoming remarks. So, David Moreno, welcome to USD.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's great to be here. Let me start off saying that I extend you a cordial greeting from our mayor, Juan Manuel Gastelum. And for us, this is very important. To keep fostering and promoting these types of events. One of our major goals in this administration, since we started the 1st of December 2016, is keep promoting entrepreneurship, innovation, and fostering the economic development for the city. Regarding that, we believe that Tijuana is implementing a local policy for inclusive support of entrepreneurships. And this is a great example, a great showcase for that. Our two projects that we brought down here, they're gonna bedazzle you and they're gonna amaze you. We're moving forward to keep coordinating and expanding the diverse entrepreneurial development programs that we have to offer. We know that San Diego tops the charts of friendly cities to launch a startup. For us, there's no question about that. But also, you have a strong community and incubators and accelerators and also companies, which we are also visiting in order to invite them to visit Tijuana, not only on the tourism side, and not only on the tourism side, but also on the industrial part, and to get to know the advantages for them to set up a part of their production line over there. So, the border for us is where all happens, where trade happens. More than $5 billion, $50 billion trade last year alone with the more than 595 manufacturing companies that we have established in Tijuana, which is, with that said, and that almost 68% of those companies are from U.S. investors. So that represents a great deal and a great part of our economic structure for the city. For those that live, or for us that we live on the border, we know that there is a vibrant and bicultural, bilingual environment that we're going to keep on fostering and promoting. We also know that we are a unique region. We recently signed a MOU with Mayor Faulkner and our mayor in order to promote areas such in education, entrepreneurship, innovation, economic development, of course, and also urban development. And you're going to see in the next few months more of that on the media. We have, I think we have discovered that if we see our binational ecosystem as a whole, as a region, we definitely are going to be more competitive. Tijuana, we think, is already a major hub for entrepreneurship and a launchpad for the Latin American market and a gateway for American businesses and practices and different expertise. This special event, the B2 competition, is for us is a unique binational project, tangible one, linking public and private sectors as that serves as a platform to give visibility to the efforts of the binational ecosystem, as well to develop a joint strategy to keep promoting innovation and entrepreneurship. I would like to also take the opportunity to extend my sincere gratitude to Mr. Michael Lawless and the University of San Diego for all the support and collaboration to make this happen. On behalf of the City of Tijuana, I'll thank you all for the time and consideration. Tijuana is a city filled with many success stories, and this is one of them. We're just starting off. So I encourage I encourage all of you to come down and visit us and witness that from firsthand. Thank you very much.
Thanks, David. For just a minute or two, I'd like to give the platform to Regina Bernal. I dream these things, and Regina makes them work. The fact that this evening is progressing as quickly and as routinely as it is her effort, and I'm very proud to work with her. We are a team, and Regina, please come up and say a few words.
Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to see everyone here. This is, for me, the best part of the year, but as similar as it happens in movies, sometimes we only get to see the grand finale, which is what you're witnessing today. But there's so much background work that has gone to make today happen. I'm so proud of our students that are going to be pitching today. They're not just passionate entrepreneurs, but they're full-time students who are actually getting close to final exams and have homework, and at the same time are juggling their entrepreneurial life. And they're putting their dreams out there today in front of you, which is very brave and very special. And I think we should all be very proud. I think today this turnout is also a witness to the celebration and to the community that we have built in San Diego. This is very special. When we come together to celebrate innovation, creation, and new projects, there's truly magic to it. So thank you for being here today. We're so excited. And without further ado, really the rock stars this evening are the students that have been practicing, pitching, dreaming to make their ventures a reality. So welcome, and I hope you enjoy it, and we have a very fun evening together planned.
Some very, very quick thank yous. Sedity, Frontera Founders, MindHub, Tijuana Innovadora, Centra Ventures, our USD Entrepreneurship Club. We have donors who support the prize and make the meals and all the organization possible. They are mentioned in the program that I hope you have a copy. And one more mention, there's another group on campus that has a parallel track to ours. It's called the Social Innovation Challenge. Their mission overlaps ours a little bit and complements ours. Their award ceremony is tomorrow evening. So I hope if you're on a campus that you can join the Social Innovation Challenge for their award ceremony. I'm going to get off the stage now and by presenting Felina Hansen. She is a co-founder of Hera Hub, which is a resource center for women entrepreneurs and investors. Women entrepreneurs and investors are part of our vision for promoting entrepreneurship here at the University of San Diego. Felina is an alum as well as a co-founder, and I'm so pleased that we could get her to come and share her insights with us. So Felina Hansen, please.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Hello, hello. I am really excited to be back this evening and excited to share a little bit of my entrepreneurial journey with you. So thank you for having me. And I have a co-presenter tonight, Sarah Becerra, that will be joining me to share part of the Hera Hub story this evening. So we have two keynotes for you. Raise your hand for me if you've seen this image floating around Facebook or Instagram. A lot of you, right? This is one of my favorite images of what I would call entrepreneurship, right? Because in school, and luckily I got to sit right here, well, this building wasn't actually built when I was here at USD yet, but I got to sit over in Olin Hall. And as a student, you look at, the exciting world of business and entrepreneurship and all the folks that have, built companies and sold companies. And what we don't realize once we get into it is it looks like the second image, which is the very, very squiggly line. And so this evening, I'm going to share a bit of my squiggly line with you, my journey into entrepreneurship. So first, we start off with rebellion. How many of you would call yourself rebels? Come on, this is an entrepreneurial group. Awesome, I want to see more hands go up. So I call myself a rebel. I believe I'm a rebel, not because I ran away from home at age 16 and got a tattoo, but I model after my two parents, who are both rebels, never followed the traditional path. They actually both dropped out of college, married each other, and neither finished school. Both are entrepreneurs. You see an image here of my dad. He owns a very sexy floor covering business on the central coast of California. My little brother, who's now taking over our family business. And my mom, who is an artpreneur, very, very creative woman. And I grew up in this environment where we didn't do anything the normal way, so to speak, which I, at the time, was embarrassed about often, but now am grateful for because it really laid the groundwork for becoming an entrepreneur. And the reason why I have a picture of a peacock here, why I'm wearing a peacock dress, if you will, is this was my first entrepreneurial venture. This is Mr. Peabody. There was a Mrs. Peabody, and they had pea babies every year. My mom is an animal advocate. We grew up with lots of animals. And instead of a lemonade stand, my first entrepreneurial venture was going around in the fall and picking up peacock feathers that fell off Mr. Peabody. I walked down to JJ's Market in Arroyo Grande, California, with a dollar sign in front of my hand, and I sold $80 worth of peacock feathers at age 8. Innovation, right? I took something in my own backyard and I made money on it. So my first entrepreneurial journey. This is a picture of my mom, yes, bottle feeding baby tigers. Again, just another example of a bit of an unconventional childhood. Yes, we did have cats, but we also had baby tigers eating with cats. We also had dogs, and we had baby tigers playing with dogs. So just to give you a flavor of my path as a child, a bit unconventional and what I like to call a bit rebellious. So I was fortunate to be able to come to University of San Diego, enjoyed my education very much here. And after I graduated, I moved to Los Angeles, set off for my big career path in sales and marketing. And I came back to San Diego actually on May 4th, 1996, so 21 years ago today. And I had the unfortunate fate of connecting with a fire truck at the end of the 8 freeway. I was going to Ocean Beach to visit some friends on a Friday night, and I broke 27 bones in my arms, legs, and face, and shouldn't be here today. We'll just say that. And at age 22, it was an opportunity as I look at it. And that squiggly line that you saw just a few minutes ago, this is part of that squiggly line. Realizing at a very early age that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? And a lot of us have been through stuff in our lives, some physical, some emotional, some for both. But as an entrepreneur, you have to, whether you're a full-fledged entrepreneur or you want to be an entrepreneur, you have to be able to take situations and reflect on them and utilize them for your journey. I had some more good fortune, if you will, and another opportunity to reinvent myself. So I worked for several startup companies. I was in Los Angeles for 6 years, and then I came back to San Diego in 2001. And 3 of the companies that I worked for, well, 2 of the companies sold, 1 ran out of money. So I had the good fortune of getting laid off 3 times by the age of 30, and also going through a divorce at the same time. And as growing up in that environment that I did, in that very entrepreneurial, don't play within the lines kind of environment, my dad said to me, "You need to do your own thing. Stop playing somebody else's game." So at age 30, I set off to launch my first business, a marketing strategy consulting firm called Perspective Marketing. And I got involved in several professional women's organizations here in San Diego, one called Ladies Who Launch, as in launching businesses. I worked with about 300 women to also help them launch their business as well. And like a lot of folks, we start off in our spare bedroom, right? Because it's cost effective and it's convenient and you get to work in your yoga pants all day, right? What could be better? But there were challenges over the course of 8 years in running these groups and also trying to build my own business by myself. I ran into roadblocks. I ran into isolation. It was hard to focus. And so we started to look at, the community that I was building started to look at, what are the options? How do we find support? So I was in this independent worker category, right? So freelancers, entrepreneurs, consultants, we're all independent workers. And right now, it's said that about 33% of the knowledge-based workforce, pretty much everybody in this room, is independent. And that prediction is, some say 50, even up to 60%, it's predicted by 2020, that our knowledge-based workforce will be independent. So, where will they work? How many of you have worked at a Starbucks? Or Panera? Or you name it, right? Where will all these people work? Will they work out of their home, which is what I did for 8 years? Looks a little chaotic. We also have the pets and the babies and all the other distractions, right? So I started to look at, where could I take my business? How could I grow? How could I connect with other people that were having some of the same challenges that I was? So I actually went to, in 2010, at the time, there was one co-working space in San Diego called The Hive downtown, and I actually hosted an event there. And it was like a revelation for me for some reason. I'm like, wow, all these people that are working together, they're independent and they're helping each other. And it was such a cool space. And they had, a beer keg and, ping pong tables, and it was just really cool. And then I looked at myself as a late 30s woman, and I said, I don't think they want me hanging out here with the beer keg and the ping pong table. And it wasn't my tribe, so to speak. So over the course of about a year, I did a lot of research on this world of co-working and shared workspace. And ultimately, I built a platform, a co-working space, an educational platform, a place where women and a few very smart men can come and find support and resources for their business. The company's called Hera Hub, and we're in San Diego as well as international. So I'll tell you a bit more about that in a moment. I am going to introduce my co-presenter this evening, Miss Sarah Becerra, who is Director of Learning Engagement for Hera Hub, to talk about her experience in building community over the last 6 years at Hera Hub.
Thank you so much, Felina. Hi, everyone. I am very, very excited to be here tonight. It's my first time at the V2 pitch competition, and I'm beyond inspired by all of the young entrepreneurs waiting in the wings to pitch this evening. As Felina mentioned, I'm the Director of Learning and Engagement for Hera Hub, spearheading our educational program initiatives, and also serve as the Community Director for our Sorrento Valley location, bringing our members together to collaborate, build strategic alliances, and just connect. And what I really want to talk to you today about, this catalyst that Felina's created, is the power of community as an entrepreneur. Prior to joining Hera Hub 2 years ago, I worked for a large organization, Bridgepoint Education, leading their community relations efforts and planning large-scale volunteer events, bringing our employees together in service of others. I also led our new hire onboarding program with a focus on inclusion and helping our new team members feel a part of the community right out the gate. So I know just how critical it is to have a strong community, no matter what stage of life or work you're in, but especially as an entrepreneur. Since joining HeraHub, the HeraHub team in 2015, I've worked with over 500 entrepreneurs and have seen the seemingly limitless power of collaboration through community. Being surrounded by a community of entrepreneurs, those who are doing it every single day and making it work, or failing miserably, which is just as important, it changes you. It changed me. It changes what you see the possibilities to be for yourself, and it also paves the way for other individuals who have done it already to share what they know. As an entrepreneur, one of the biggest mistakes you can make is thinking, I can do it all by myself. Thinking, I'm smart, I'm capable, I should be able to figure this out alone. No, it's huge to have a community. Whether you're an entrepreneur, a wantrepreneur, I'm sure there's some of you in this room tonight, or a soon-to-be college grad with the world at your feet, it's very exciting, or having it weigh very heavily on top of your shoulders. Even more important, why it's important to invest in building your community now. I could talk to you all night about why it's so valuable, but Regina gave us a time frame. So to save some time, I've narrowed it down to my top 5. The top 5 reasons why you need to start building your community now. Like, meet people tonight. Tonight, build your community. Number 1, trusted resources. As an entrepreneur, you are essentially building the plane while flying it. There's no template, and you're just really figuring it out as you go. When you have a community around you, people that have different experiences, that have been an entrepreneur for longer than you, you have people to support you and answer those questions when you don't know the answer. For one of our members, Steph Villegas, the co-founder of Sittin' Pretty Still, which makes gorgeous meditation cushions, this showed up in the form of mentorship from another one of our members, Nicole McDonald. Nicole invented the Sash Bag, or the anti-purse, and had had years of experience in manufacturing around the globe, and was able to share a lot of that wisdom and the missteps that she took with Steph. Steph and Sittin' Pretty Still, they're launching their first Kickstarter campaign on Monday. Shameless plug, go to the website. And Nicole also was able to impart her wisdom on her very successful Kickstarter campaign that happened last year, where she raised nearly 3 times her $30,000 goal. Without that, Steph would have made a lot more mistakes and had a lot more challenges. The next most important reason is collaboration. Successful entrepreneurs know what it is that they don't do well, and they know when they need to ask for help. But there's definitely a learning curve with this. For 2 of our awesome members, Rebecca Tall-Brown and Leah Prain, this happened when they were just randomly standing in line at one of our monthly member lunches, the opportunity to get together, just get to know each other. They were standing and waiting in line for food, and Rebecca, as a marketing strategist, and Leah, as a content specialist, they got to talking about a lot of things that they really jived on. Without really meaning to, they started to share the same clients because they'd be pulled in on certain projects together and started to collaborate out of necessity. Now, Leah knew right away that she wanted to be business partners with Rebecca, but as sweet and nice as she looks, Rebecca is very stubborn sometimes. And it took her a little longer. It took her 3 years before she was ready to form that partnership. But in Rebecca's own words, it changed everything. They're able to take on bigger, higher caliber clients, do big, passionate work that they never would have been able to do separately. So that joint partnership, as long as it took, is going really, really successfully today, and they never would have had that happen had they not just struck up a conversation. The third most important reason is diverse viewpoints. You need to surround yourself with people that see the world differently than you. Not just in work, but definitely in life. We see that play out all the time. People that just see things in one way. And it's so critical to surround yourself with a community that can serve as a control group for different ideas that you have, but may not see all the sides of. This happened for our member, Lori Itkin, also known as the Options Lady, when she started to embark on her very first e-course. And she wanted to make a course as a certified divorce financial analyst. It's a mouthful, but I got it. She wanted to make a course for newly divorced women, recently divorced women who needed a path to financial empowerment. And she kept using this phrase, newly divorced, newly divorced. And after tapping into the community about the name she was proposing in the language, a lot of her target market said that phrase of newly divorced really didn't sit well with them at all. So had she kept that in there, she would have potentially alienated the exact women that she was trying to serve. The fourth most important reason is people to celebrate your success with. It's huge as an entrepreneur to have someone to share those ups with you and to cheer you along when you do have those wins. Success breeds success, and it allows you to reach new heights and see more potential for yourself when you see others who are doing it well. One of our members, Deanna Nunez, who on the outside looks like she has it all figured out sometimes, but she can be very vulnerable. She's a mindset speaker and hypnotist. She had been struggling for a while to raise her prices. She knew that she was undervaluing herself, but couldn't bring herself to raise those prices. And it took one of our members, Vanessa, telling her, no, you need to be charging a lot more. I'm telling you now, very sternly, and I'm sure after many, many internal conversations with herself, she decided to raise those prices. The first time she slid that contract to that very next client with the significantly increased rates, they signed on the dotted line without even batting an eye. And when we came back together, we were all able to just cheer and be so excited for her, but the biggest outcome was that the other members in the room saw themselves as having the ability to higher value themselves and make a difference in the way that they viewed their confidence too. And finally, and what I would argue is the most important reason why you need to have a tribe, a community of supporters as an entrepreneur, is the space to be vulnerable. As an entrepreneur, you are going to have a hard journey. It's not that straight line, it's that crazy curvy line, and there are going to be significant challenges along the way. It will unfold exactly as it should, but when those times come that all you want to do is crawl into a hole and die because of whatever latest struggle you've had, that's when your community is going to show up in the biggest way to give you support, encouragement, say it's okay. And I've had members come to me on the verge of tears, ones that seem like they have it all figured out, because they feel like they are floundering, which is exactly why we created something called Pivot Pub. It's a safe space to share your failures and talk about a change in direction. As an entrepreneur, you need to know and you need to have people that you can trust, that you can say, I failed, I didn't do it well. It's okay to be honest, and in that honesty, you find those deeper connections and those people that you can turn to when it gets really, really hard. Now, I want to pivot a little bit and bring on Felina back up to the stage and talk about her own vulnerability and her own little direction shift. Felina?
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. So I get the opportunity to be vulnerable seemingly every day, but one of the biggest opportunities came when pretty early on, about a year and a half, 2 years into the business, we had an opportunity to work with a nonprofit organization called The Story Exchange. And they are collecting stories of female entrepreneurs. And shortly thereafter, I shared my story. They got a partnership with the New York Times and got funding to do a video on some of these stories. So I had actually recently met Sylvia Ma, and we had decided to take this business model and expand it. And I decided to franchise the business model because really, as far as expansion goes, I'm not the person to do it in Phoenix or Dallas or Stockholm, Sweden. It's taking the model we built and teaching other folks how to do that. So I come out front and center on what ends up being the New York Times and then JetBlue flights for like the next 6 months because the content is syndicated, saying, I'm going to franchise my business and I'm going to launch 200 locations in 5 years. And that video was everywhere. And guess what happened a couple years later? I figured out franchising was not the right business model for me. And I hate the word franchise now. No, I'm just kidding. So we pivoted. We pivoted to a licensing model, and luckily I have amazing support by folks like Sylvia Ma and others to say, this isn't the right vehicle. We always hear the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result, right? And so taking the opportunity to look at a different business model and rebuild the structure of the business pretty early on, I needed to be open and vulnerable about that. That's not something you can hide or something you should hide, because business is challenging. We are all going to make mistakes, and you need to own them and be open and say, here's what I did to fix it. So licensing has been the model that we pivoted to last year. And the main reason, and I actually just talked about this last week at a funding talk here in town, the differences between the two. The market that we are targeting for our expansion are very accomplished women all over the world. And the connotation of franchising for them is McDonald's, chicken nuggets, Burger King, that type of thing. And so understanding that target audience and what they want and how they want to bring their experience to the table made the difference in regards to how we're expanding. So back to our visual. Again, sharing that journey, being open, being vulnerable, finding a community, a supportive group of people that can be your champions, that you can share your success with. And for us, that has turned into what our new vision is, which is supporting over 20,000 women in the launch and growth of their business by 2020. And we're doing that, again, through the licensing model. See if I can, there we go. And through a book that I published last year called Flight Club, as in taking flight as an entrepreneur. So we've expanded to Washington, D.C., Phoenix, and Stockholm, Sweden. This is Sophia Renemar, our licensee in Stockholm. She found us through a random podcast that I agreed to do a couple years ago. She fell in love with the idea. She flew out from Stockholm, and she is our licensee there in Sweden. So we are building a community of supportive women who are helping each other, collaborating, building each other's business all the way in Stockholm. So again, this journey of rebellion, reinvention, and what I like to call, hopefully now, thriving as an entrepreneur, I put that together in a book last year. Again, the title is called Flight Club. It is a play on the movie Fight Club, late 90s, Brad Pitt. Anybody see that movie? Pretty good. Where Edward Norton is stuck in his boring gray cubicle, just longing to break out and feel something. And when I started to research this idea for this female-focused co-working space and chose the name Hera, the Greek goddess of women, it was certainly an affirmation or confirmation to find out that her symbol was said to be the male peacock feather, because she was said to have big, beautiful eyes and was watchful over women at every stage of their life, guarding and protecting them. And so, the goosebump moment, you're like, okay, this is it. I'm on the right path. And so chose the name Hera, or Hera, if you're in Greece, to represent this brand where we are supporting women and guarding and protecting them through every stage of business. So thank you so much.
Elena and Sarah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wonderful insights, and we learned so much from hearing about your journey. So thank you for starting us off so well.
Thank you.
Isn't that great? What a joy to have folks like that come and speak with us and inspire us with their insights and their experiences. All right, so we're going to move quickly into the next part of the program, which are the pitches, why we're here. The first thing I want to do tonight is to take this and make this a teaching moment. I'd like you to learn the V2 one clap. I can't, I'm behind the mic in order to have this recorded, but I can't stand still, so I'm going to move out. I'll be off mic, unheard of on the video tape, but you can hear me, I hope, well enough. So the idea here is that we have to move quickly from one event to the next. It's a fast-paced evening. I hope you enjoy that. But one way that we're going to move things along is to have one clap of applause for each of the people I'm about to introduce to you. The next stage is to tell you about the 6 angel investors who are giving their time and expertise to us this evening. They are the ones who will evaluate the pitches that we're about to hear, decide how to allocate the prize fund that's been made available, and to give their comments to the entrepreneurs at the end of the evening. The way that we're going to do this quickly is to have a one clap. So I'd like you to work with me. First thing we're going to do is to try a one clap. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Very fast learners. Good job. So I'm going to introduce 3 USD angel investors and 3 international angel investors. And Amanda Letman, please come up and take your place as one of our USD angel investors. Andreas Roll is our second angel investor, and he is coming up to the stage. So, Andreas. And our final angel investor for the USD side is Staff Karras. Staff, come on up. And you don't even need a cue. What a cue. Okay, so these are angel investors, which is one of the distinctive characteristics of the V2 pitch competition. We don't have judges, a professor, or an executive from a big company. We have people who make investments like the kind of pitches that you'll be hearing tonight all the time. On the international side, we have 3 angel investors, Veronica Ipes. Thank you so much. Sylvia La. And Ramon Toledo. So our investors are seated. I think we're ready to start our pitches, and I want to make sure I get this right. So Happy Spoon. Happy Spoon is our first USD pitch. So everyone gets to listen to the pitches. The first 3 are going to be USD. The second 3 are going to be. Start the evening right now with Happy Spoon. And David, are you ready? David Jimenez and Happy Spoon.
Hello, everybody. My name is David Jimenez, and I'm the CEO and founder of Happy Spoon. California is very well known for a healthy lifestyle, right? Well, even here, a hotspot of wellness and healthiness, more than 26% of the people are obese. Think about it. 1 out of 4 from this room is actually obese. Not to mention the number of disease and allergies that we hear every day over and over. And why? Because we are what we eat. And this is not my opinion. This is a fact that doctors and nutritionists point out every day. Tonight, I'm bringing you a tool that is not only easy, free, but also it will help you, it will help us to create awareness and educate our society to eat in a smarter and healthier way. Tonight, we had the opportunity to use data and technology for the most important thing in our lives, health. So welcome to Happy Spoon. Cool, right? Happy Spoon technology collects all the ingredients from the menus that are in the area and match them with your personal information. Let's say the ingredients that you like, your allergies, your diets, or perhaps your doctor recommendations. No matter where your preference is, Happy Spoon will find the perfect meal in the area that is for you and only for you. Let's talk about the competitors. I do agree there are first movers and leaders in the area, like Yelp and Foursquare. What they all do is to take the information and show it to us. What Happy Spoon does is take the information and marry it with your personal data. So what Happy Spoon does is to give you the power of choice of what you eat. As I said before, Happy Spoon is free for the user, but we have different revenue streams. First one is promoting restaurants and advertising their meals. So when a user set their preferences and there are 50 perfect meals for them, we position those restaurants that have paid us before in the first position. Same business model that Google follows. The second revenue stream is diet selling. So if a user wants their personalized diet, we will put them in touch with our nutritionist that will create the perfect diet for them. In the future, we have some other revenue streams like booking tables and some others, but that is a future view. And people, we are ready. We are ready to launch. We have partnered with key gyms, nutritionists, and third-data providers that have helped us to build a powerful network of 1.5 million restaurants. In addition, we have access to more than 1,500 nutritionists with more than 5,000 users. And all of this is even before launching. Talking about launching, we are seeking to launch this coming 1st of June. From that point, we are going to focus on marketing and collect data from our app, nutritionists, and users to improve our algorithms and improve our user interface. As we have identified our key personas, which are people who has no time to cook at home, healthy people, or people who has like allergies or different lifestyles, with the $30,000 that we are seeking tonight, we are going to focus on key partnering with gyms, nutritionists, and while we run campaigns through Facebook toward those personas that I just mentioned. With this $30,000, we are seeking to reach 140,000 users by the end of the year. My team is not like any other. Myself, I have more than 5 years experience in mobile development. I have more than 20 apps in the market that I build and market myself. Our co-founder, he's an expert in social media marketing. He has more than 200 apps with more than 25 million downloads in the last 4 months alone. This is not the first time we team up together. 4 years ago, we started doing what we are doing now. We started building and marketing apps that reached top 10 positions in the Spanish Google Play market. They generated more than 5 million downloads and more than $12,000 a month. So, as you can see, we have all the ingredients to succeed. So, who is hungry to eat tonight? And remember, we match, you eat. Thank you.
So I have to tell you how I've turned Regina's straight line for the evening into a squiggly line. And that is by introducing the pitches ahead of time and forgetting to offer you a Q&A session with Felina and Sarah. So my apologies to both of you, but we are now 15 minutes ahead of schedule thanks to my brain gap, and we'll press on. But my apologies. It's our loss that we didn't have Q&A with you. And my apologies to everyone for that. The next pitch is by Global Seller Holdings, and I think we're ready.
Or is it?
Okay. Oh, there you go.
Gotcha.
Let me get it.
All right, good evening, everyone.
No? Does this work?
Should just switch it to the next pitch.
Perfect. Thanks.
All right, that looks a little bit better. All right, so we're here to present tonight Global Seller Holdings, which is a portfolio of companies that we have started that help with the logistics services for Amazon sellers. So it started back in 2014 with FBA Forward, which provided consulting as well as quality control for Amazon sellers importing from China and selling on Amazon.com. From there, we've kind of just listened to our customers, what they would like and need, as well as what the market supports. And we've started the Global Shipper, the Global Broker, and the Global Mailbox. Each of those companies do, respectively, shipping, customs brokerage, and then as well as some administrative services for Amazon sellers that live outside the United States. So Amazon FBA is a platform that allows sellers from anywhere in the world to import goods from from anywhere really, and then have them sold in the United States on Amazon.com. Amazon takes care of the shipping, the selling, everything that's needed so the business can really be run from anywhere. So why would an Amazon seller need a logistics company? So while Amazon takes care of the shipping to the final customer, it's on the seller to move their goods from China or wherever they're manufactured to the Amazon warehouses in the United States. This is a long and complicated process that involves many different companies, which is why we started, our companies to handle all of these various tasks so that Amazon sellers can really outsource the entire process to one company that they know and trust to work with their goods.
All right, so this is actually a lot of moving parts. So try to break it down to the core of what we actually do. And this is kind of what we try to explain when our families and friends ask what we do every day. This is kind of the core of it. It starts out with an Amazon seller, our client, finding a product in China. And they reach out to us and place an order on our website to have us help with managing logistics all the way to Amazon. So when they place that order, we actually take over the entire process. And that includes shipping all the way from the factory in China to a US port, typically Long Beach. We do all the customs, all the paperwork for the client, and we actually truck it down to our warehouse here in San Diego, where we do what's called prep in Amazon, kind of the Amazon ecosystem, where we do anything from just putting on barcodes to actual product testing. And from there, we make sure that everything is Amazon compliant. We ship it off to Amazon, and the seller is ready to sell his product on Amazon Prime without even touching the product. So that's the core of what we actually do every day. And how it's going so far? Well, we have almost or more than 2,000 customer accounts. We have processed over 2,000 customer orders. In Q4 of last year, we did 142 shipments, including everything you just saw. And even though Q4 is like the busy season for any Amazon seller, we actually did 175 in Q1 this year. And to do all this, and while we've done all this, we also created some great partnerships. One of the primary ones is actually Amazon itself, where we're specifically working on how to improve logistics for every seller on Amazon. Digging a little more into the numbers, on the left here, this is actually our revenue for 2015 and 2016. In 2015, we did $240,000 in revenue. 2016, it grew to almost $2 million in revenue. And actually for this year, 2017, we're expecting a similar growth. And then this will actually take us to a little more than $13 million in revenue. And for 18, we expect to be almost double that too. So to accomplish all this, we've created a pretty simple three-legged strategy, which consists of optimizing operations. And since we're a logistics company, it's within the warehouse, where we optimize processes, build new systems, and also creating new systems for our customers. We're actually developing a tool that manages the whole order process for the customer. We have strategy within the new markets, or the current market, sorry, where we're obviously building our client base, but we're also vertically integrating in terms of doing our own trucking from the port to San Diego. And new markets in terms of getting new type of client, mainly Chinese manufacturers. That is kind of outside our current scope of our current client base. And this strategy translates into like a giant list of projects, specific projects we're working on. And some of the primary ones are expanding to a new location in Long Beach, which is an ask for $10,000. We're attending the Canton Fair in the fall. We just had a team come home from China a couple of weeks ago, and we're going full throttle on the Canton Fair in the fall. This is a trade fair in China, the biggest one in the world. We're hoping to engage with the Chinese clients. We're designing an order management system for an ask for $5,000 and attending national conferences too, which is also a $5,000 ask. So totally a $30,000 for a wide range of our most important projects.
So we know that we have some, pretty high goals, and we're working towards these. We've put together a great management team, including two USD MBA grads. I'm about to graduate. I'll be the third, and then Carolyn, who handles our customs and logistics. Along with the four of us, we've got another 20 team members supporting our day-to-day operations. And we know that with the team that we've built, and as we continue to grow, we'll definitely be able to achieve all of these goals.
That's it.
That's it.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
I want to mention, since I've created a lot of time in our schedule, quickly that the pitches that you hear tonight have gone through some hurdles to even get here and to be finalists and to present to you. There is a stage at which 35 this year USD pitches and a like number from Mexico were filtered and evaluated to end up with 3 pitches on the USD side, 2 from Mexico and 1 from Uruguay. That filtering round is also done by angel investors. And let me just mention those. On the USD side, Allison Long-Patine, Eric Gasser, Neil Reisman, and Doug Raggio put their time into culling the 35 down to the 3 finalists. And I'll also mention quickly that we created a new category this year, recognizing that being a finalist at V2 is by no means not the only path to success as an entrepreneur. We created a category of 7 what we call hot prospects. These are pitches that were almost finalists, but not quite. And we have created medals in recognition for them. They are mentioned in the program, so you might take a look at our hot prospects as well as our finalists. The last pitch on the USD side is called Trash Tracker, and we're ready to hear their pitch.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Jordan Schultz. I'm a senior mechanical engineering student here at USD, and I'm the founder and CEO of the Trash Tracker. The Trash Tracker's overall mission is to increase recycling rates and provide waste collection companies with a way to increase their overall operational efficiency. But before I go into detail with that, I want to give you some background on the waste collection industry as a whole. So right now, trash companies don't have a way to track the amount of trash, recycling, or green waste that each individual household produces. They only have the route level data. So we're looking to be the first smart meter in the trash industry, attaching our devices to the truck so that we can track the amount of trash, green waste, and recycling that each house produces. The second thing, and probably the most important thing about the waste collection industry, is that trash companies make money when they pick up recycling, but when they pick up trash, they have to pay to dispose of it in landfills. So for them, increasing recycling rates isn't just important for their social benefit, but it's extremely important for their bottom line because it increases their revenue. So obviously, there's a ton of households in the United States, and we produce a ton of trash. On average, across the United States, we produce about 2 tons of trash and 1.2 tons of recycling each year. And that number is only expected to go up. It's expected to triple within the next 60 years. So right now, in Southern California, the average cost of disposing of trash in a landfill is about $47 per ton, whereas they can generate about $40 per ton in revenue for disposing of recyclable materials. So our behavioral team believes that we can get, at the minimum, a 10% increase in recycling rates, which would lead to, if we had the trash tracker on every truck across the United States, an increase in revenue for those companies of about $1.8 billion, not to mention the environmental impact that we would have. So in 2016, a study was done in San Francisco, which I'm sure a lot of you can guess is a very eco-conscious and green city with great recycling programs. What they found was about 20% of the material that was in the trash bins could have been put into the recycling bins. There's a lot of room for improvement here, and in San Diego, those numbers are more like 30 and 35%. So we're looking to capitalize on that. So our overall mission, as I said, is to track the amount of trash, recycling, and green waste that each house produces. We then store that data on our miniature computer and then upload the measurements to the cloud database that we have. From there, our team of behavioral scientists will analyze the data and send feedback to homeowners, giving them feedback on how well they're recycling based upon principles of behavioral science. We believe that those feedback reports will lead to an increase in recycling rates. So this kind of started as a senior design project for my last semester as an engineer at UST. And we went to EDCO, a local company, and said, can we view your trucks? And what we found was the heavier the bin was, the longer it took for the bin to raise from the bottom of the track to the top of the track. So we installed 2 sensors onto the truck, one at the bottom and one at the top. When the first sensor is triggered, a timer starts. When it hits the top of the track, the second sensor is triggered and the timer ends. Our Raspberry Pi, which is a miniature computer, records those timers and converts them into weights. Along with those weights, it's tagged with a GPS location, or RFID in more dense environments like downtown San Diego, where GPS just won't work. Once the truck returns to the trucking plant, our miniature computer will automatically access the Wi-Fi at the plant and send the data to the cloud database. So, as I said, our behavioral team believes that we can get, at a minimum, a 10% increase in recycling rates. Assuming that, we would offer a 50-50 revenue sharing deal to the waste collection companies, where we take half of whatever additional revenue we generate. So looking at the city of San Marcos, which is where I'm from and where the pilot test is going to be run, there's about 26,000 households. We would generate an increase in revenue for the waste collection company there, EDCO, of about $400,000. On that $400,000, our take would be about $188,000. And on that $188,000, we only have $80,000 in costs. Each trash tracker device only costs $150 retail to build. With only 10 trucks for the entire city, we only have $1,500 in deployed costs. However, a large percentage of our cost comes from the printing and postage of home waste reports. And as we scale, that cost will diminish a lot because people will start to opt into an online platform where they can log in and view the home waste report. So even with those costs as they are now, we generate about $100,000 in profit for each small city like San Marcos with a margin of about 57%. So our team consists of obviously myself. We also have 3 other senior mechanical engineering students here at USD, as well as my co-founder, the Dean of Graduate Studies and Research at Cal State San Marcos, and a professor of social psychology with 20+ years of experience in creating behavior change when it relates to environmental issues. And we share the last name. Coincidentally, he's my dad. He also has a team of graduate students working under him, and we've also recruited a team of 5 computer science students to help us build out the cloud database. We have a really distinguished group of advisors here. So we have Dr. Venkat Shastri as our first advisor. He's been very hands-on throughout the process, helping us think about our design not just from an engineering perspective, but also from a business perspective. And as we continue to move forward, Venkat will take on a more active role in the company. Our other advisor is Shahram Javi, who's worked closely with my co-founder in the previous years, Shahram started a company called AquaCube, which basically did the same exact thing that we're doing, but in the water industry. And in 2012, Shahram sold his company for about $15 million. So as we move forward, Shahram will take on a more active role in helping us launch our company and approach things from the business side. So where we're at right now, we've completed our initial technology and prototype tests at EDCO by installing our prototype, the Trash Tracker, onto their trucks. And we've gotten pretty good results. So right now, we're finalizing our design and in the process of applying for patents. This summer, we'll be launching our pilot test with EDCO over in San Marcos on the 10 trucks there, letting them run. Following that, in the later stages of 2017, we'll be installing a full deployment across EDCO trucks in San Diego, hoping to begin our 50-50 revenue sharing model. And then in 2018, we'll begin expanding out of the Southern California region and all over the United States. So once again, I'm Jordan Schultz for the Trash Tracker. Thank you for listening, and help us make the world a cleaner and greener place. Thank you.
That completes our cycle of 3 pitches from USD students. And I'm happy to take us to the next part of the evening, which are pitches by our international students. This year, opportunistically, and I think to our gratification, we have a pitch from a team of MBA students from Uruguay. They're going to talk about their company called Croth, followed by 2 teams of pitches and ventures from Mexico. So Croth is our next team, and I hope they're ready. I want to make sure. Croth? Yes, here they are. Here's our team from Uruguay.
Hi, everyone.
Hi. Night.
All right, ready to start? Okay,
Next, the clicker.
there we go. Perfect. Okay, hey, everyone. 8 out of 10 small business fail within the first 18 months. The reason, very simple. They just ran out of money. And while this is completely true, it's also way too broad. We all know that most businesses fail because of their product, their strategy, or product market fit. But beyond this, there's a number of common problems that they repeat time after time after time. My name is Mauro, and I'm here with Agustin to present Croth, a B2B platform where small and medium businesses can hire and sell services without using money, transforming their excess capacity into needed services. Please welcome Agustin.
Thanks, Mauro. Hi, everyone. During our MBA business plan at the Lean Launchpad program at UC Berkeley, we figured out that most of the small and medium businesses with less than 50 employees suffer these 3 problems. Excess capacity that normally is assumed as a sunk cost. They also have limited financial resources to invest in the improvement of their businesses, and they usually struggle to connect with international markets. That's why our solution is based on these 3 pillars, our value proposition. Transforms companies' excess capacity into value, into needed services that allows these companies to increase their operation. Reduce their cost of sales by preserving their cash flow at the moment of hiring services, and increase their exposure on international markets. Well, how Croth works? First of all, Croth has its own currency, the Croth credit, that with this currency, all the operations, all the transactions are made. For example, when a company needs a service, it can hire another company from Croth's company directory and pay this company with Croth credits. Now, this second company with the earned credits can hire services from any other company in the network at any time it wishes.
So now that you know how it works, let me tell you how we're going to make money out of this. First, and most important thing is that being part of Croth is completely free. We will only charge our customers when we add value to them. We have 3 types of revenue models or revenue streams. The first one, a transaction fee. Every time a transaction is completed, we will charge each party with a small fee. Second, when a company wants to hire a service and does not have enough credit, they can always come to us and we will sell those credits in US dollars. And lastly, we will offer premium features to increase sales and exposure into a platform. Eventually, we will analyze advertising and data as another type of revenue. So right now, The network is the key. Our first goal is to build a complementary, consistent, and qualified network. And for that, we are only including service companies that can work cross-borders, and by that I mean international, we learned that today, and they are used to do outsource or work between each other. And by those, I mean software development, design, multimedia, animation, online marketing, and so on. So in our first stage, we will launch in LATAM, where we have more than 10 million small businesses, and where the internet is growing exponentially, and we think this is key. Right now, about traction, we did a pre-launch campaign where we were able to capture more than 1,000 companies from different verticals. But most important, we were able to maximize our acquisition channels. We reached a CPC of 88 cents in LinkedIn, a 15% visit to sign up on cold emailing from web scraping, and a 7% referral rate between companies. Also at this point, we're negotiating with chambers and private networks to include their companies into our network.
Our main competitor is the status quo. By saying this, we mean that most of the companies do not recognize they have excess capacity, nor they do something to solve this situation. Regarding similar platforms we have in the US, Time Traders and BSEX, and in Australia and UK, Bartercard. The main difference between these companies and ours is that they have a mix of B2B and B2C focus, and they also have non-complementary verticals that sometimes is very confusing for their participants. Nowadays, we are raising $150K of smart money that can help us achieve these three goals. Optimize our technology for scale, ramp up signups with at least 10,000 new companies, and assure the quality of our network that, as Mauro mentioned before, is the key to ignite the development of our startup. Well, our team is our biggest asset. It's composed by Gaston, who's in the crowd. Everybody says hi to Gaston. He's in charge of the technology. Mauro is in charge of the operational strategy, and me on the business development and marketing. We did the same high-tech MBA in Uruguay a couple of years ago. We have different but complementary profiles at the same time, with expertises from technology, platform management, social innovation, business development, and so on. We have lived and worked in 14 different countries, but most important, we have been in the shoes of a small and medium business that usually struggle with this type of problem, and that's why we are solving it with growth.
So please visit Crowd.com and watch our video, and thank you very much. We're looking forward to talk to you after this.
Thank you.
Thanks, Croth team. Evimed is our next pitch. Evimed.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. A dental implant surgery in the United States goes around $12,000, but just across the border, you can have it for 1/5 of its price. Now, we should also be concerned about this graphic. Right here, you can appreciate that the south border and west coast of the United States presented the highest rates of inhabitants uncovered by healthcare services. That has led to a huge flow of people to Mexico seeking for medical assistance. Now, only the states of Texas, California, and Florida together are sent to 18.1 million people unable to afford insurances. As a result of that, some of them have to go to Mexico finding this solution. And even those who can afford it find it that sometimes it's very difficult to pay the fees. They rather not to use them. But who knows that? We know it. And that is why we created Evimed. Evimed is the first transaction-based platform that connects medical services providers in Mexico with customers in the United States. It is the first in its class that provides high-quality medical tourism at low prices. And with this medical platform, you're just a few clicks away from the medical treatment you need. Through the Evimed platform, you will be able to compare different options according to the treatment you require. You will be able to catch up on reviews from the doctors you would like to attend, and also to compare prices, as well as finding additional services such as transportation, lodging spaces, and even touristic information if you want to get to know the city. Now let's talk a little bit about numbers. During 2016, according to ProMéxico, more than $3 billion were gathered from medical tourism, and 1.2 million people from Hispanic heritage legally residing in the United States traveled to Mexico for this purpose, as well as 200,000 people from other countries that also arrived for the same purpose. And how big is our market opportunity then? Having this market around us, we found out three main aspects to cover in order to find a great opportunity for this. The first one is the inefficient attraction for prospects. Did you know that clinics and doctors hire cab drivers to pick up clients at the borderline and to bring them to their clinics? How safe and reliable does this practice sound? Now, the second one is a lack of a functional system to gather or to attract medical tourism. What does it mean? We work with an empirical base because we mainly access medical tourism through billboards, mouth-to-mouth publicity, as well as internet searching, spread in different websites. And the third one, it's because of the language difference that we do have, we find that terrible communication with people from other countries. Now, think about the possibility of finding all the information you need in one single space. Isn't that an interesting option? Now, let's talk a little bit about how did we decide to create Evimed. We created an account on this platform, Airbnb, and we found that people looking for lodging spaces that went to Mexico also asked for medical references, as well as some other services, such as transportation and touristic information. And that is how we discovered this unexplored market, and we decided to take advantage of it. But who is a potential client for Evimed? Well, we mainly focus in three kinds of users. The first two ones would be the Hispanics in the United States and American citizens with no healthcare services. And the third one would be the people with healthcare services or insurances that are valid in Mexico. But where is the right place for making business? Giving a closer look to this idea, we found out that the local market, specifically Tijuana, Baja California, was a great opportunity for it. This city catches around $600 million each year for medical tourism, and that represents around 20% of the national income of that country in the same sector. And we expect to catch at least 1% of that market value. The interesting fact is that clients will not have to pay for it. And how will we do that? Well, according to our business model, we will catch up 10% of each transaction made through our platform. That platform basically is made by these services that you can see listed over here: bariatric and plastic surgery, as well as dental care, also hair restoration, ophthalmology, and rehabilitation and spa. We will catch also the 10% of the additional services that I've been mentioning before. And what should we be worried about then? Well, we have some competitors in this side of the globe, but mainly they're focusing in Asia. Enterprises such as Medical Departures, DocDoc, and MedDoc only offer the linking service between doctors and patients. They have no additional services as we do. And local competitors are mainly informative platforms or informative websites with a really terrible interface for the users. We should also be worried about the South Doctors platform that is currently working in such a similar process as we are. And how do we will make this real? Through your investment, through your support, we will get a $200,000 investment to cover these 6 areas that you can see listed right here. And with this, we guarantee that we will make our company the strongest and the most profitable in the market. We will be able to stand against any competitors around the world. And finally, through our 5-year roadmap, we will focus on 3 stages. The first one would be during the first year, and we will work on the ecosystem by attracting clients and positioning our brand into the market. From the first to the 3rd year, we will work on the solidification process by diversifying our products, attracting more clients, and gathering 35% of doctors in the northern frame of Mexico. In the 3rd to 5th year, we will catch 40% of doctors. We will attract clients all over the world, as well as putting our brand abroad in markets such as Asia. That is what we would like to do. That is what we are looking for, and that is our greatest expectation that we will make real with your support. This is who we are. This is Avimed, a company dedicated to satisfy a need that will never expire. Thank you very much. My name is Renato Lopez. You've been a wonderful audience.
Thanks, Avimed. Our final pitch of the evening is Flip, and we're about to hear their pitch.
Thank you. Hi. Hey. All right, cool. So let me just wait. Oh, forward? Nice, okay, cool. All right, so hi, good evening. My name is Brian Wilson. I'm 19 years old, and today I'm going to present to you Flip. So before I start, I would like to thank Dr. Lawless, the school, for inviting me to this event, but mainly I would like to thank you guys for being here as well. So let me tell you how everything started with Flip. Around 2 years ago, when I was with my girlfriend at that time, she needed 5 books for her classes. She was barely getting into school, so what we did for a week is that we started looking for those books, and in 1 full week, we were only able to find 3 out of those 5 books. Why? Because one was too expensive, and the other one we couldn't find anymore. Who can be related to those type of problems? Like, who has been through those problems? Several of you guys, right? So what I did is I started thinking, how can I solve these problems to my girlfriend? So what I started thinking is that, hey, students that are ahead in the head semester have those books because they already passed through those semesters. So what I just did is I went to the school and I started asking, hey, who has these books? And I was able to find them. So thanks to that, that's how the vision of Flip was born. Flip is a platform where college students can find all their books in one single place at a much affordable price. And not only that, they can resell the old ones that they are not using anymore. And this is how it works. You go on to flip.co, you write down the specific name of the book that you're looking for, or if you want to save some time, you just write the school, the semester, and the career that you're in right now, and with one click, you're going to be able to find all of your books for all of your classes in one single place. So you look for the best option of those books, you click, and you buy. And again, if you have books just piled up from semesters before, you upload them on the platform, and you just get extra money for those books that you're not using anymore. You can even reinvest on the books that you're going to use for your next semesters. So this is our indirect competition. Why indirect? Like, for instance, Amazon, eBay, Mercado Libre, or physical bookstores are indirect competitions, because the difference between them and us is that we have focused market and a focused product. Our market is Latin America, college students, and our product is college books, mainly used for college students, down over there. So that's the difference between them and us. And our market, again, Latin America, there's more than 100 million students, but in Mexico, there's more than 3 million students. Going more specifically on where we establish ourselves with Flip, it's the biggest school down in Tijuana, UABC. They have around 60,000 students. Thanks to our surveys, experiments, and now a functional platform, 60% of the students were interested and now are using the platform. So this is the way we make money. For every book that is sold through our platform, we get 25% of commission. So projections are that in 1 year, if we're able to sell 100,000 books in a price of an average 500 pesos, and we get 25% commission out of that, we get a profit of 12 million pesos. But the general market value just in Mexico, it's a 15 billion peso value. So it's a big market to do this type of business. So that's weird. The way that we take this platform to the students is by creating events, campaigns in school, social media marketing, but mainly ambassador program. And the ambassador program is what we offer to students that have time and just want to get extra money. They register with us to become part of the team. They become an ambassador, and they sell the books for their friends and buy and sell the books and just get extra money for doing that. So this is where we are right now. We launched our MVP 9 months ago. We have 4 ambassadors in that main school. In total, we have 8, but we're separately in other schools. We're incorporated in Mexico and incorporated in the US as well, and we've sold around 250 books. We have alliances with schools, bookstores, and publishing companies. Like right now, we just closed a deal with a big publishing company down in Mexico that they're going to give us 10,000 books to put on the platform. And our team is made by the Incubator Mind Group. They were our first investors. Marco Soto, he was our first mentor. Now he's partner of the company. Antonio Orozco, he's in charge of systems of the company. Myself, Brian Wilson, I'm the head of the team. So what we're looking for right now is we're asking to a $100,000 investment in exchange of 10% of the company. And we're going to be using that money to develop the next version of the platform, do marketing, and hire more ambassadors. So in summary, Flip is a person-to-person school book marketplace. The market is more than 100 million students in all Latin America. We take 25% of each book sold through our platform. Let's say that a book is sold at an average 500 pesos by 100,000 books. That's a profit of 12 million pesos. So the marketing that we use right now is that we go and do events in schools and invite students to become ambassadors. We're asking for $100,000 of investment for an exchange of 10%. So in essence, let me tell you a little bit more about Flip. Flip has been my life for around 2 years. So I wake up and it's Flip. I go to sleep and it's Flip. It's 10 to 14 hours. So I really hope that this, what I've been trying to do for the past 2 years really helps the students. Like my passion is to help anybody in any way. This came to my life with my girlfriend at that time, and now I'm able to help many more students to do this. So this is Flip. Thank you so much. So do I go? Thank you.
Girlfriend at that time. Sometimes these relationships have benefits that we can't always expect. We're ready to go into the next phase of the evening. I'm more and more stoked about what we're doing. So I'll explain the process from here out. I will call up each of the entrepreneurs. They'll come up, hear comments and the decision of the investors about their venture, and they'll remain on the stage. So it's going to get a little crowded up here by the time we're done. As you're called up, please kind of move around in front of the screens and out of the way of the discussion. And we'll have a little photo opportunity, some awards, and a good night to everyone. So, Happy Spoon, you are the first to hear. Where's David? Yeah, come on up. So face your investors and hear what they have to say. Yeah.
Can we throw an audible?
Can you what?
Can we throw an audible?
Yes.
Can we get the Amazon guys up first?
You want to do the?
Yeah, the FBA.
Okay.
Real quick. There's a reason for it. There's a reason. Stay here.
Okay, global seller.
Sorry.
You're like, what?
We're type A's, so you can't hold us back. So first of all, great job on the business that you guys built. So this is a very interesting and unique scenario. That's why we asked them to come up first. So the ask is, we have $30,000, and the main theme is pretend like you're investing your own money. If we were truly to invest our own money, we would invest it in you. Because you guys have a fabulous business, it's up and running, it's growing, it makes revenue, has a good profit margin, is in a hot market. You guys got it all figured out. Staff of what, 20 people? 20 people. However, we're here at the USD campus, and we're all here for the greater good. And with that, we decided not to give you any money. But what we're giving you in return is hopefully fantastic relationships. We're here to help you guys out, to get you access to customers, so you guys can grow that way much more than $30,000. So I hope that works, and I hope you understand that we want to help entrepreneurs at USD on campus that are not as far as these guys are, because $30,000 for them has a much more smaller impact than the relationship we can give them and the $30,000 we can give to others. So I hope you guys understand. We'll help you.
When I was in the Navy, I had a commanding officer who once said, "You have to be fluid because flexible is too rigid." And I found out that if anything else, that applies to these V2 pitch competitions. I turn over the decisions to these angel investors, and you never know. But thank you very much. And to the point that Andreas is making, moving the needle, what's the impact of the investment that we're giving on the company is a very legitimate market-based criterion for making an investment. And these guys are far enough along, so it's not going to matter as much to them. They probably don't think so, but it's not going to have as much of an impact with them. Okay, I think we're ready for Happy Spoon. Okay, you're on, David.
So thank you, David. Appreciate your pitch and appreciate the ability to be here. And again, like Dr. Lawless said, we as angel investors believe that moving the needle is really one of the deciding legitimate factors. And so we loved your personal passion, your story, and your perspective and focus on data analytics and sort of the growing understanding of data and learning. We believe you need to pay close attention to your kind of competition and create really strong content strategy with your nutritionists. I think we all talked about that with you, so I think there's some growth there. I certainly want to see you add more women to your team, so I'm looking forward to hearing about that. And with that, we are granting $22,000 to Happy Spoon.
And Jordan with Trash Tracker.
Jordan, you probably don't have to be a math major to figure the numbers out here. So a couple of items. One, we really we like the social good concept that you're trying to do, and I think all of us feel strongly about the need to create a more sustainable planet and recycling. We had a few concerns just about the details of the business model, so we would encourage you to kind of give some thoughts. So as you articulate that, especially to investors, that you can get them comfortable with how the business model functions, how the revenue gets generated. And I personally had still some uncertainty about how you measure success. So just think about getting an investor comfortable with how you do that. And then the other part, that if we had more time, you could probably convince me more about how you change the behavior with the household, because the key to success is really changing behavior with the household. And it seemed to me that the time span in which you think you're going to change behavior just seemed really short to me. So I would want to understand better how that works and whether you can have that impact, and I hope you do with the household. But we do want to provide you with $8,000. We also think that one place that money could be spent is maybe bring someone in from the outside just to help you look at that business model and just tune it up a bit. So congratulations.
So we have on the international side, we've gone from binational, Mexican student entrepreneurs, to international, with the addition of a team from Uruguay. And they are here with the mission of representing their university and also learning about our process. They are not competing for part of the fund or the prize, but they are here to gain experience and to present their venture to a US audience. So we welcome them up to the stage. Kroth. So we'll debrief with Croth after we finish the evening. But we are grateful for you to be here. We're happy that you made the trip. It's not an easy trip from Uruguay to San Diego, but they made it, and we're glad to be here. So thank you. So we have just two more venture teams to recognize, and Evimed is next. Evimed?
Evimed, thank you so much for sharing with us your idea. We can see that you put a good amount of time to the presentation. Our main concern is that you saw an original opportunity. You had this Airbnb, you were managing these properties in Airbnb, and people were asking you for additional services. So you saw the opportunity. Our concern is that you didn't, you got out of that essence. The essence was people that need services for securely staying in a place where they are going to visit a doctor, and transportation. So I think that focus is where the main idea comes from. And when you're tapping into the doctors, I think you're entering a different space that we don't fully seem to agree on the business model and the potential. If you would focus on that original idea that they're asking you, I think that's where the real money and the real opportunity comes.
Okay, and well, basically this is my, I think, fourth B2, I think so, or
Yes.
third, yep.
Yep.
And the first one I was very quiet because I saw the presentation. I think one of the presenters even started crying because she was so nervous and there was something new. But I do want to say something. I was very impressed with your presentation, the way that you had that confidence and you presented, because you are outside of your country, outside of your base comfort zone. And you came here with that security that I was looking for, because when you're raising money, you need to believe in what you're doing and not come and start crying after 2 minutes, right? So I actually, yes, I applaud you with that. Be that as it may, yes, I believe that the medical tourism is something that we're all looking for. We just don't understand it, how we're going to make money. If you find the way in the business model, how you're going to make money at the end of the day, because it's not just being out there. No, if not, everybody would be doing it. It's a $1 billion a year industry, just Tijuana, or 600 million, like you said there. So, and everybody will be there right now. You will have tons of companies coming all over. Nobody has learned a way. Look into that. How are you going to make money? And come to us as, I'm already making money. I already have 10 clients, 20 clients, and they're happy. And they're making money, and you know what? I need more money because then I want 50 clients. Then I want 100 clients. That's when you have that, when you structure that well. And you're from Tijuana. It's not like you're from doctors. You know doctors all around the place. There's doctors every quarter in Tijuana. So try to do that, and I think that would be a great second phase for your business model plan. Okay? But again, I congratulate you and salute you of the professionalism that you presented here at USDB competition. All right, and the prizes you have. So we are giving you mentorship. You're going to have mentorship. And then we're looking also for pre-PR. So you get free PR in both San Diego Union, LA Times, San Diego Red and Core, and Yahoo Tech as well, so, which is good. When you're out there, you start getting those PR. It's really good. Investors love that, and they start seeing that, and you have your Vimeo video there. So, and mentorship as well, because I think that's very important for you, because you can have a lot of ideas, but somebody will tell you, hey, that's the correct one.
Yeah, and I will be providing the mentorship. So, you have to cross the border, though. I'm sorry, and come visit me. And I do shoot from the hip. Yeah. I will not sugarcoat anything. Okay. So we'll dive in and we'll get it done. Good? Okay. You're welcome.
You can trust Sylvia that she doesn't sugarcoat.
Yeah, no.
And Flip.
All right.
Come on up.
So a couple of comments. So I think everyone here who presented Uruguay and Tijuana, you guys are all winners because you guys did present in a different language. Doesn't look like it, but I am from Venezuela and English is my second language. So when I do get tired, and I am tired tonight, I do kind of flip back and forth, as you guys noticed in my question and answer. So kudos to that. Really great job on all of you guys. So going to you, you're young. You're 19. I told you that in the presentation. I mean, wow, like 19. Great job. You've been doing it for 2 years. Your passion that you showed in your presentation showed through 100%. You know, it's like at the end, you're like, I breathe it, I dream it, I do everything. That impressed us as judges. And we know that you're going to make something amazing out of Flip or your next venture. So we just want to be in back of you for that. One of the challenges that we saw is that, and I think that you brought that up in your question and answer, was pay close attention to your valuations. So, you know, yes, you're going to sell 1,000 zillion books. Well, how are you going to do that? Really build from that. I'm a big proponent of great, you know, starting points. So you have assumptions that you're going to get these universities, and those universities are going to give me this many books that I'm going to sell. Build solid assumptions from the beginning, because if you inflate the assumptions from the beginning, then it's like 2,000 a million, zillion dollars I'm going to make, and you're not in the first 6 months. You know, and you didn't do that, but just putting it out there. The other thing that impressed us too was traction. So, and you kind of mentioned it, a little bit of traction on that side too, of, you know, you were able to show us version 2. Version 2 was impressive. You shouldn't put that into your pitch. We talked about that already. But version 2 was pretty impressive on the question and answer. So anything else that we wanted to say? Oh, yeah, there was one more thing. Yeah, so, sorry, I can talk on and on. One of the things that we also decided is that when we were deciding the prizes and all that for you specifically, is that USD is an undergraduate institution. And you are an undergraduate, even if you're on the other side of the border, and we really applaud you for that. And that really dovetails and complements what USD does here.
And if I can say something, because you will see the price you're getting and you will be very happy, but please don't go and buy the biggest Mac that you see on the Apple Store. Please eat ramen, pizza, a little bit of Red Bull, and just basically do when you told that you breathe and you sleep and you live your startup, that's what got us all, because that's what we've seen. The successful people are that, well, I'm doing it part-time and I do it. No, that's the thing you have to do. And use that money you're getting like you didn't have it. Use it like, I mean, just because that's gonna take you to the second level when you actually really ask for good money, right? And I just, you know, that's some piece of advice we give you there.
Yeah.
And hopefully MindHub can grab you by the hand and the mentorship as well,
Yeah.
and take you to the second level that you need.
So your prize is the full $10,000 cash prize, and PR. And mentoring from myself, and co-working at Central Ventures, because we want you to succeed.
Congratulations.